Welcome to Gutter Trash, episode 195, Survival of the Dead. My name is Eric.
And my name is Jason.
What?
I said, my name is Jason. Something got caught in my throat.
Was it a piece of human flesh?
It could be.
Was it horse flesh?
I did eat a little horse today.
Or was it bile?
That was not bile.
Okay. Was it ham-filled green bean?
It was ham. It was horse ham filled green bean.
Alright, let's just get into this, I guess.
We watched Survival of the Dead?
Yeah, we did. You alright? Do you need some water?
No, I think I'm fine.
Okay. Alright. I don't want you to choke and die on the show.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'd come back to life and you'd have to...
Argue with someone about it
Yeah,
for an hour.
yeah.
Yeah. What a horrible movie this was.
Though, there is one good thing about this movie.
That it's over?
It's over.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe how awful it was.
Oh, man. What happened, George?
Yeah.
What happened?
Where did you go wrong? Like, I mean, I know some people don't like Land of the Dead because it's such a departure, and
Right. I liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like Diary of the Dead because they were sick of handheld movies.
Understandable, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
This
was a piece of crap.
it was I've seen Huey Lewis in the news videos with better, like, storylines and direction.
And better CGI work.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Just a terrible, like, TV movie style.
It was.
It was like a TV movie.
It was, yeah, it was borderline Sci-Fi Channel original movie content, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
It was-
disappointed.
Huh?
So disappointed.
Incredibly disappointing. It was a cartoon. Like, and I say this as a lover of cartoons.
Yeah.
As you know that every time you come in here, I'm watching G.I. Joe.
Right.
And yet when an episode of 1984's G.I. Joe was more realistic than this movie.
It holds up better than this 4-year-old movie.
Yeah.
Or 3-year-old, whatever it was.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, to be
No.
forgotten is this
Yes.
movie.
Oh my gosh.
My dad, every time I go over to my parents' house, after like a Saturday or whatever, because my mom tends to rent a lot of movies, and forces my dad to watch them. And
She likes action movies.
She does like the action movies. She used to really like horror movies. I think the first time I ever saw Night of the Living Dead was with her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the black and white one?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, she used to be a big horror movie fan. In fact, I saw the Dawn of the Dead remake with her at the theater.
Nice. Awesome.
I had
Olga.
I had a free pass, that I got through, my work. Or maybe I got it through Mavericks, I can't remember.
Maybe. I think we did have them at one point.
Cause at the time, cause Mavericks will get the occasional free pass, for movies. But at the TV station, we would also occasionally get them too.
Right.
So I was getting like free passes from Mavericks and free passes from the TV station. So I can't remember from where I got this. So yeah, I had this free pass, and my girlfriend had to work, and none of my other friends really liked horror movies. So I was like, "Hey, Mom, you want to go?" And so we did.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did she like it?
No, she didn't hate it.
She tolerated it.
She tolerated it. You know, she did say it's not my type of movie anymore. But
What do you think she'd think of this one?
I don't know. She loved Catwoman.
Yeah. I haven't seen Catwoman, but I would imagine it couldn't be a whole lot worse.
Right. She probably would not like this one. She is not into the horror movies anymore.
Right.
But she did used to be. In fact, actually, when we saw Dawn of the Dead, she was like, well, that was kind of like Night of the Living Dead. And I was like, well, it's a remake of the sequels.
Yeah.
So yeah, she probably wouldn't have liked it, but, probably just because of the horror content. She probably wouldn't have noticed how bored she was throughout the entire movie.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and it's like, and Romero is sort of known for having some sort of social commentary,
Right.
Like woven into this storyline.
Yeah.
And this
is supposed to have one. I think it has his idea of what he thinks is a social commentary in there, but it's pointless.
Yeah, and it seemed like he wrote it on a post-it note and stuck it at the very end of the movie.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's, but yeah, I did have a point about, talking about my parents.
Oh, about her watching?
Yeah, my mom, rents a lot of movies, and, so I'll come over, and have dinner with them, and my dad will start talking about, your mother rented this movie, and,
right.
It was a cartoon. All she rents is cartoons anymore. And, he's just talking about, ridiculous,
unbelievable kind of.
Yeah, I guess he likes more realism in his movies, and he does definitely not like, CGI special effects. And
right.
In fact, even like commercials, he'll just like, I bet those two people aren't even in the same room together. It's all just cartoons.
I like how he calls anything, fictitious a cartoon.
Apparently my parents saw John Carter a couple weeks ago. I have no idea what my dad thought about that, but I'm pretty sure all he did was bitch about it for like the next day to whoever would listen. But, so, I just sort of, always scoff it off as like, my dad's a cranky old man,
Right. Yeah.
But, this movie was a fucking cartoon.
Yeah. And not a good one.
No, not at all.
Not a good cartoon. Not a good cartoon. It wasn't, I don't want to veer off in another direction if you had some relevant.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because we even watched, before we watched the movie, you were like, hey, there's this little intro by George Romero.
Right,
you want to watch that? And it should have been good foreshadowing, because, it was, supposed to be funny.
Right.
But it totally wasn't.
Yeah. It was just a sad old man who's lost his
beating
touch.
a dead horse.
Yeah. Eating a dead horse.
Yeah. But I mean, I thought he still has it. I mean, because Diary of the Dead, right?
Diary of the Dead.
I mean, that
fun.
wasn't that much older than this. So it was a couple of years before.
Before this. I mean, it's. It was still ridiculous at points.
Right. But it was engaging, and the characters were good, and the direction was good. This was, this really felt like an episode of, the lamest TV show you can imagine. It was their Halloween episode.
Right.
Like a Halloween episode of, Everybody Loves Raymond. That's what this was as far as, comedy and horror goes.
Right. Yeah, I think the biggest fault in this movie was the comedy aspect of it. Because he's not known for comedy.
Right. I was kind of excited about that when he's like, and this movie is going to have a little bit of humor. I was like,
right.
That might be an interesting take on, for him.
Right. I know that he's forever been trying to get a movie made about a zombie rock band.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be a comedy. If this is his, first experiment with trying to make a comedy.
Yeah, this is an indicator of what direction he'll go in.
The jokes are terrible. What jokes they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Cause at the same time he's still trying to balance it with that whole heavy-handed, way that he's made the other movies.
Yeah, right. That's the worst part, I think.
Right. But, cause I would say most of the comedy, quotes.
Air quotes.
Every time I'm saying comedy, just imagine me quoting in the air.
Yeah.
because it is not comedy.
No.
It just seemed like he was relying. It almost seemed like he didn't even want to tell the story that he was telling. That all he was doing was just stringing scenes together to get to the next zombie attack.
Yeah.
To have new wacky gags on how to kill a zombie.
Right. Yeah, and like every time we use the word comedy and wacky here, it's not what you're thinking, because it is.
Oh, no,
it's not wacky or funny. It's just like his version of like, yeah, maybe this will be wacky.
Right.
I'll have an axe fall out of this guy's hand, and like when he's raising it, and it'll fly over and hit another zombie in the head, and that'll be funny.
Right.
But no, it's not.
Or maybe this guy will take a poker and jab a zombie in the crotch, and the zombie will just walk away with this piece of iron sticking out of his crotch.
The kids will think that's wacky.
Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty much the result of it. It's just him trying different ways. And I guess when you've made, 4 or 5 of these types of movies, you gotta try to find some new ways to kill a zombie.
Right, yeah.
But it seemed like every single time was like he was going out of his way to try something different.
Yeah.
And, this'll get a laugh.
Yeah. Oh man, I felt like, like if, Stan Lee was trying to write like a hip, like dark superhero comic of this for the kids today.
You mean Ravage 2099?
Yeah. This was the Ravage 2099 of zombie movies. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, and like, this is the part of the show where we usually go, but that having been said, there was this one redeeming quality to this film, but I can't find it.
No, yeah. Nope.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
It's done.
That's the redeeming quality.
Even before we even started watching this movie started pissing me off. Because after all the previews, which they were good previews, or at least something that seemed far more interesting than anything that was in this movie.
Oh yeah.
But we get to the menu, and the fucking menu is like,
choose a side.
Yeah, it's a split screen. It says pick a side, and there's the living and the dead side.
Right.
And all it is that you click on one and you get a different menu.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, a different menu screen.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was going to be like one scene that was different in each side,
or like
perspective switch or something.
A rated and an unrated version, because I've seen that before.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
I just figured maybe like they would start off from a different perspective, and then like 2 minutes into the movie they would merge into the same thing or something. But
no, it's just different menus.
Yeah. You had to like. We looked it up because, you looked it up because we were like...
I was like, well, what the hell is this?
Yeah. What are we going to miss out on here?
Right. And I'll also tell you that the internet was no help.
It was a first time for everything.
Yeah.
Didn't he kind of look like Stan Lee, too, in that intro?
A little bit, yeah.
I'd never seen a modern photo of George Romero. Like, I don't think I've seen anything since, like, the 80s or 70s or something. But yeah, he kind of looked like a hippier Stan Lee.
Yeah, with his own hair, at least.
Yeah.
I think he's got some of that Stan Lee hucksterism in it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I don't mean just like his facial features, I mean just his whole...
mannerism.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Him trying to be funny.
Yeah. Man. That's too bad.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, there's the special effects in this are just piss poor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 30, 40 years ago, like, even Night of the Living Dead had better special effects than this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he had no budget, and it was in black and white, and it was almost 50 years ago when he did it.
Yeah, right.
And,
yeah, oh, man.
But it's not just that, like, the story is dumb.
Yeah.
And just ultimately pointless.
It's like a Hatfield and McCoy's type thing.
Yeah. None of the characters are likable.
No, yeah, none of them. Yeah.
Some of them aren't even named. Like the kid that shows up for no reason.
The one they call Kid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. And that kid, pointless to the entire movie.
Yeah.
There's 0 point to him being in there. he did nothing to accelerate or advance the plot, or did anything to, help any of the characters whatsoever.
Right.
He was just there.
To give something for the kids to latch onto.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's this scene where, because it's this ragtag band of soldiers who have survived through everything, and they basically have gone rogue, and they're just out there surviving on their own, and they wind up picking up this kid. And so they're in this armored truck, and one of the soldiers is looking at his laptop, and the kid's like, "Oh, that's not cool," and he pulls out his phone, because that's what the kids love.
Yeah, they've got technology on their phones.
Yeah.
I'll get them in there.
So yeah, it was just a lot of an old man.
Yeah.
What is it the kids like today?
They use those computer phones.
Right.
I'll put that in the movie. Excelsior!
But then things happen that just make zero sense whatsoever. The same soldier with the laptop winds up dying.
He gets killed fairly early in the film.
Yeah. How? He didn't get shot.
I think there was a ricochet from a bullet, and it just hit it. Maybe he had a heart attack. He had a heart attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's a gunfight, and the main soldier, who also ultimately does nothing to accelerate the plot or the story, or
just provides the worst dialogue in the film, probably.
Oh yeah. And voiceover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he dives and pushes the guy out of the way and takes the bullet in the shoulder, and then the guy dies.
Yeah.
That he saved.
Yeah, the character in the main bearded leader. I don't know any of their names.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
The guy that gets shot in the shoulder sees his friend that he tried to save laying there, and he looks like he's dead, and he thinks he's playing dead. I think he's playing dead.
Right?
Did you think he was playing dead?
A little bit, yeah.
And because we're well, clearly he.
Well, I was also thinking, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, and then he's shaking him come on, quit fooling around, and
right.
Yeah, he's just dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
And there's a surprise twist with twins show up. You find out one of the characters has a twin.
There's zombies riding horses.
Oh yeah,
because that'll happen.
Yeah, horses aren't scared of zombies, right?
No, yeah, they wouldn't do anything in their power to shake that thing that's on its back off,
right?
At all.
No, of course not.
No. And so basically, like you said, it's a Hatfield McCoy's kind of thing, where it's two families who live on this island that apparently is off the coast of Delaware, but they all are Irish.
Yeah.
They're all either Irish or rednecks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Redneck Irish, yeah.
Yeah. No, there's two different ones.
Right.
Yeah,
one side's one side's the other. Yeah.
Well, no, because both sides are Irish, but they have people, living with them that are rednecks.
Rednecks peppered through?
Yeah.
Yeah, the two main old guys are both Irish,
right? And their families, because
okay, well, yeah, I guess the guy that we're sort of on his side, I guess he sort of does have some rednecks too. I was thinking just the guy that's claimed the island. I thought he was the redneck owner.
No, yeah, they're both Irish.
They both own some rednecks. So
yeah. So these two families, and they're warring over the fact whether they should kill the zombies when they happen, or let them live and see if they become better after they've become zombies.
Right.
That's the whole plot of this movie.
Yeah, and okay, there's two little things in this movie, germs of ideas that could have been good.
Uh-huh.
The one was let's call him the Hatfields, the guy that's commandeered the island.
Okay.
The Hatfield guy, he's talking to one of the military people, and he explains how, like, he's like, you see all these photos? Like, they're all of, relative, of, like, ancestors of mine and their relatives, and, they're all dead in these photos because, back then,
That's what they did.
Yeah, people did. They'd take pictures after people died to sort of, like, keep their memories alive and keep them with them.
Right.
And, like, I thought that was kind of a neat idea because he's also the guy that wants to save the zombies and not kill them, and corral them in case there's, like, a cure coming up. And, like, that is, like, a germ of an idea that could have been cool.
Right.
But they never did anything with it.
Right.
And then, like, all of a sudden he ends up just shooting zombies.
Yeah. Exactly.
He changes his mind, like, for no reason. And
well, like, cause the movie starts out with this conflict starting, and then we cut to these military guys, and then they eventually wind up on this island. And so we never see that guy again until, like, over halfway through the movie.
Right.
And then when we see him again, the guy who wants to keep all the zombies alive,
he's just killing zombies.
Yeah, that's the first thing we see him do.
Oh. Yeah.
And then his whole thing is that he wants to try to prove, that he's right to the other guy. The
McCoy guy.
Right, to the McCoys, that, like, his idea is that if they can somehow train zombies to start eating,
pigs or
animals,
livestock, right?
Anything other than people, then then maybe there's a chance.
That's the other thing I thought was a good idea, like germ of an idea,
right? And so, like, basically all hell breaks loose, and then the zombies come out and they start eating people as they are wont to do in the last 20 minutes of a George Romero movie,
right? Yeah. I didn't see a Hare Krishna guy. That's unfortunate.
I will say, this is my one positive thing I have to say. There were no costume zombies in this movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. Like, just no clowns or...
Right, yeah. He did, seem to keep that in check this time around. But, so all hell breaks loose, and then he's still insisting on making the guy admit that he was right. Even though they're in the middle of, like, this massive battle where zombies are eating all of their families.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense.
And then, like, in the last 10 minutes or so, one of the zombies starts eating a horse.
Yeah.
And at that point, 10 minutes in, I was like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm like, even more, who the fuck cares?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so, like, it's so inconsequential at that point. Like, they can't save it.
Right.
Like, half an hour into this movie, it's not going to be... They can't fix how broken this movie is. Oh, my God. I can't believe that that's the same guy that made Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead, and that is crazy.
Yeah.
He anti-Beatles.
I don't even know what that means, but I like it. Yeah, and I gotta wonder. I mean, there is that sort of thing where, the older that you get, you do kind of lose a little bit of what it was that you had that made you special.
Right, yeah.
And at least, as a creative person, you sort of reach a peak and then you kind of go a little bit downhill, but, sometimes you don't, sometimes you get better.
Right.
But I have to wonder, is it because, he is the grandfather of zombie movies, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Night of the Living Dead was the first, zombie movie of that type. Before that, it was just all, voodoo zombies.
Right, yeah.
The non-flesh eating kind. So I have to wonder if, at this point in his life and his career, that he is basically, I'm sure he's got to have other ideas. I'm sure he wants to do other stuff, but he just can't.
Everybody else is like, do another zombie movie.
Right. And so I kind of wonder, is it just because he didn't give a shit, maybe? like he had those two germs of an idea,
Right.
and just didn't develop it any further because he can't care less about them.
Yeah, he's like, this is all I got. And they're like, yeah, do it.
Right.
And he's like, alright, whatever. That's quite possible.
Right.
Like, I'd be curious to maybe hear his commentary to see if he's like, oh, this scene was so much fun to shoot.
Right.
Or if he's just kind of like, yeah, this guy here, I met him on the set of, I don't know where. Oh, yeah.
And I think this is definitely, I mean, there's no question that this was just a bad movie.
Yeah.
But this is also definitely one of those things where we're just so disappointed that it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
Which is why we might be trashing it more.
Yeah,
But-
like if this would have been made by someone we'd never heard of,
Right.
we'd have been like, oh, it was pretty awful.
Right.
And that's like as far as we would take it.
Right.
But yeah, it's like a movie by a well-respected guy that we both love in a genre that he excels at.
Right.
And it was trash.
Yeah. And like, I think I read something about this is like, the first of a planned trilogy of movies that he has for, and I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, just quit, George.
Yeah. Cause, I mean, I don't think this was successful at all. Like, I don't think it came out in theaters. I think it went directly to, like, video on demand and then eventually DVD. So, hopefully, he doesn't have the funding to make any more of this.
Was this the one that was this the one Brian said it showed up in like 4 theaters and
Yeah,
for like a week
yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah, because
And he also said it was not very good either.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're right about this, Brian John.
You were indeed. But, at the same time, I mean, because we are Romero fans, we had to give it a try.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Oh yeah, I had never seen a trailer. I've never read a review. I had no idea who was in it. But I was like, I've got to see it.
Right. Well, this is back to Romero's usual thing of nobody is in it that we've ever heard of.
Right.
Yeah. He had Land of the Dead, and that was it.
Yeah, yeah. Which was cool that he had Dennis Hopper and Asia Argento and
Right. John Leguizamo.
yeah, John Leguizamo. Yeah,
Nick Frost, Simon Pegg had cameos.
that's right. Those little silent cameos.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And Simon Baker was the star.
Hmm.
He's a good actor. He's in stuff.
Wow.
He's in a show my dad loves.
Really?
The Mentalist.
Oh. I can't think of who Simon Baker is because I saw that movie one time
Right.
at the theater. But
He was the main guy.
okay.
And I mean, Romero's made other movies, non-zombie movies that are
Frenzy,
pretty
was
good.
that him?
I don't know about that.
Or The Crazies? Or
The Crazies.
Yeah.
He did that, which I did not like.
Oh, Frenzy's a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But yeah, he did The Crazies, the original one, which I was not a fan of.
I haven't seen the original. I've seen the remake.
I saw the remake, and I loved the remake.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good.
But yeah, the original is as boring as this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, maybe he just doesn't care anymore then.
Well, I mean, The Crazies was back in, 1978, though.
Well, I mean, but I wonder if he didn't really care about that, and then that's why he went back to zombies, but now he doesn't care about zombies.
But, he also directed a movie called Martin, which is incredibly good. And then that was also back in the mid to late 70s as well. The Dark Half, which not a great movie, but good.
Yeah.
Based on a Stephen King novel. Not too long ago, directed a movie called Bruiser, which I think 3 people have seen.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Was it a boxer?
No. It's about a guy who goes insane and loses his face. Like his face gets replaced with this blank white mask kind of thing.
Huh.
And so he decides to use that to get revenge on the people who fuck him over. And Peter Stormare's in it.
Oh, alright. I'm
And the
in.
Misfits.
Really?
Yeah.
The, Michael Graves?
Michael Graves
Really?
Misfits. Yeah.
Huh. Well, I'm in.
It's a dumb movie, but it's enjoyable.
Why didn't we watch that instead?
I don't know.
Yeah, this movie could have used a little Peter Stormare. That would have helped.
So every movie could use a little Peter Stormare.
Just a little, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. Wow. I really wanted to like this movie.
I did too.
I really expected to like this movie.
I thought John Mitchell would be wrong. And I guess apparently every other person who had ever seen this movie, I thought they'd be wrong too.
Yeah, it seems likely. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, there is that thing where, yeah, it is like super disappointing because we are, fans of Romero.
Right.
But it was also just incredibly bad.
Oh, yeah, it would have been bad no matter who made it.
Exactly.
Like if it was this exact same result.
Right.
But it's even worse when it's somebody you know is capable of greatness.
Right. And yeah, I mean, just so much about it. Just.
Oh, the acting's awful. The story doesn't make sense, and it's terrible. The heavy-handed afterthought of a message.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's just a train wreck.
Right. I did kind of have this thought because I mentioned the voiceover. The voiceover is usually, I would say, 90% of the time, and if you hear a voiceover in a movie, it's an afterthought. It's well, this movie didn't turn out the way we wanted, so now we gotta explain everything.
Yeah.
And we can't really reshoot anything, so let's just throw some stock footage in there while a disembodied voice tells you what's going on. And the ending of this movie had that exact same feel to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of this movie, because I'm gonna recommend that you don't see it.
This is a spoiler.
So basically, everyone's dead. Except for the soldier, two of the soldiers, and the kid. And they have this ferry that's out in the middle of the ocean with millions of dollars in it.
Yeah.
And they're about to go back to the ferry via rowboat. But then the lead soldier stops them and is like, well, maybe, if we get rid of all the zombies, and since all the families are dead, we could actually build a life here. And then it cuts to a shot of the boat, and then a narration that says, nope, we left.
Yeah. It was so bad. Oh my god. It was so bad. Oh. Now, okay, like, towards the beginning of the film, you see the soldiers, like, they're describing how they got to where they're at, and there's a flashback where they're commandeering a bus. Is that supposed to be a scene from Diary of the Dead?
That was a scene from Diary of the Dead.
Okay.
Yes.
So they tried to, like, patch those two movies together somehow.
Yeah, basically.
But the same actors didn't play those military guys.
The same actor.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, that's kind of neat that at least they sort of, like, kept the continuity there, but...
Right.
Huh. But yeah. Didn't save it.
And I also gotta say, I kind of like the Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, sort of take, in which, there's nothing left outside except zombies.
Yeah.
And just the small group of people fighting to survive. Whereas in this movie, somebody out there is still putting videos on the internet.
Right, yeah.
And there's still, power to things, and apparently the human race is doing okay for themselves, still.
Yeah, they hadn't noticed that Delaware was overrun by zombies.
Right, yeah. Or that this Irish island existed off the coast of Delaware.
Now, wouldn't Irish Island of the Dead been a better title for this movie?
Yeah, probably. It would have helped the movie if it was the same.
Yeah.
No, we get Garth Ennis to write a Irish Island of the Dead.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I would love that.
Let's do that, yeah.
What's his movie? Didn't he put out a zombie movie or some sort of horror?
I don't know if it's a zombie movie, but he did write a movie called Stitched.
Stitched, yeah. Okay.
About some sort of horror movie about the war in Afghanistan.
Okay. I didn't know the plot.
Yeah. And there's a comic as well.
Yeah. Like an Avatar book or something.
Yeah. And by Avatar you mean the blue cat people?
Yeah. They, those really tall publishers.
Yeah.
It's hard to get them to sign a comic because You can't reach them.
Right. And they're always just jumping around trees.
Jumping around, yeah.
Sticking their ponytails into things.
Saving flowers with their ponytails. Man. Will you admit Avatar was a better film than Survival of the Dead?
Avatar was a better movie than this. Because at least...
You heard it here first.
Well, the thing is this. You can always fall back on Avatar as it's an amazing technical achievement.
Right.
This movie was by far not.
Didn't you see that scene where he lit his cigarette off with that zombie's burning head?
Oh, yeah, I did. I also saw the scene where someone got shot in the head so hard that the top of their scalp flew off and then landed perfectly on the stump.
Well, yeah, because that's wacky. The kids will love it.
Yep.
They'll tweet about it on their brand new computer phones. Oh. Train wreck.
Not even a good train wreck.
No, yeah.
Because I didn't want to watch this anymore after, I mean, like seriously, like 20 minutes into the movie, I started getting up and walking around.
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom without pausing the movie, which we never do.
That's a first, yeah. I think I was like, you missed this part and this part. You're like, alright, whatever.
Yeah.
I looked at my phone like halfway through the movie and you were like, does somebody call you? I was like, no. I was just looking to see like how much time had elapsed.
Right. I started looking at my phone, but I was just trying to like look to see like what the rest of the cast had done, you know, to see if George Romero was doing anything else other than this. He is not.
See, my phone doesn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, well, I have a better phone.
Yeah.
It's what you might call a smarter phone.
Yeah. You have one of those phones that you're a target audience.
I am, yeah.
Yeah. I'm more from George Romero's school here.
You're from Dawn of the Dead. I'm from Survival of the Dead.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I feel like I say that a lot after we watch movies that I pick.
No, you're fine. Because, I would have seen this movie on my own at some point anyway.
It's better. This is something better done with a friend present.
Yeah.
Help get through it.
Right. Because I know that, and I love her to death. But, my friend Amanda loves horror movies too, and I know that if I would have watched this with her, she would have been like, that was really good. And I would have just had to,
just
say,
quivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody out there probably likes this movie.
Yeah. Not us.
No.
Yeah.
And nor should it be you.
No.
Please avoid.
Yeah. I'm kind of exhausted from just ripping this movie apart. So let's take a break.
Sounds good.
Cross
welcome back to Gutter Trash. What up? Still recovering.
Yeah.
Do you know, actually, I don't think we mentioned, originally it was called Island of the Dead. Did they change it because there is another one called that or something?
I don't know. I did kind of look on IMDb, and there's been some other movies called Island of the Dead.
Oh, okay. So I just didn't want to get it confused. I
guess not, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That probably makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what else is going on?
Not too much. Actually, I'm doing a job shadow tomorrow.
Ooh.
I get to go, I just do a half a day of work at Weaker Arts, and the other half I job shadow, another teacher who's doing a thing out of school.
Okay.
And then, I'm supposed to kind of take notes and see how that goes. And then, I think next week I'm gonna be teaching a class at a high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I would, not respect you if I saw you coming in trying to teach me.
Well,
I mean,
I'll wear a button-up shirt instead of my Mr. Miracle t-shirt.
Alright. Are you gonna hide your, Galactus tattoo?
Hide my Galactus, yes. Well, I mean, it's all developmentally challenged. So, I mean, they're mostly,
so they don't respect you anyway.
Yeah, they don't, no. I mean, it's high schoolers, but a lot of them, I mean, I wouldn't say all of them, but I'd say a lot of them have more the mental capacity of, younger kids. So,
right.
I mean, they probably would be like, whee, he's got a tattoo.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's pretty big and exciting.
Well,
that's something different.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. I'll be at, I think I'll be at West Carrollton High School.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Did you go there?
No.
Or something? Oh, okay.
I don't know a thing about West Carrollton.
Yeah, I don't either, really. I just know it's south of the Dayton Mall.
Yeah. More,
oh shit, I don't even know where it's at.
Yeah. Southeast? Southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or north, actually. North. It's north of the Dayton Mall.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those
Northwest.
directions. It's one of those directions. North by west-east.
Yeah. My coworker that I carpool with, well, I say carpool, but I mean that in the loosest sense of the term. My coworker that I chauffeur around, he lives in West Carrollton.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he can point me in the right direction.
I know his kids go to West Carrollton High School.
Oh, really?
I don't think either of them are developmentally challenged.
Yeah.
They're socially challenged, apparently,
Right.
from what I hear. But, yeah.
Well, high schooler isn't, really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, well, some high school kids are more socially developed than others.
Yeah,
we were not.
No.
I can certainly speak for myself.
Yeah, no, not at all, yeah.
Did you go to parties at high school at all?
There were parties when I was in high school?
Oh, okay. That is the correct answer.
Yeah. Yeah, if by party you mean getting high under the bleachers with a guy that couldn't spell his own name,
Yeah.
I partied like crazy.
Well, if you mean by party working a full-time, part-time job, then I partied like crazy too.
We're party animals. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else fun going on?
Our good friend Joe G, who was on the previous episode, he and I went to go see a movie on Thursday night.
Ooh, Batman?
Nope. I've decided that I'm just not ever going to see that movie.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I would try to see it, but yeah, fuck it. It's already been ruined for me anyway, so yeah,
right.
Yeah, I don't care. No, we went to go see Manos, The Hands of Fate. Speaking of bad movies, I can say that maybe Survival of the Dead was worse.
Oh wow, do you think Survival would have been okay with a riff track maybe by this
Oh,
time?
maybe.
Maybe that would help?
I don't know how much of it would lend to being funny.
You're right.
Because I mean, Manos has just, piss poor production values and, just amateur acting, and so, like Survival of the Dead almost has, like, a little bit of level of trying.
I don't know, I thought the acting was pretty awful.
Oh, it was awful,
yeah. But just a higher overall quality.
Right. But at least everyone in that movie was a professional actor.
Right, yeah.
And no one in Manos of Hands of Fate was.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, yes.
Yeah. And the writer and director of that movie was a fertilizer salesman or something like that. Yeah. Who made that movie on a bet.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You don't know?
No.
Have you ever seen Manos?
No, I don't know anything about this movie.
Yeah, it's a movie made, I think, in 1966, 69, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where the director of this movie, he wound up meeting a screenwriter, and then they sort of became friends. They were, at a coffee shop, just having a conversation, and the guy said that, making movies isn't that tough. And so basically he's like, alright, we'll make a bet, see if you can, write, direct, produce your own movie. And, he won the bet. He made this movie, Manos: The Hands of Fate.
It's like a sci-fi?
It's a horror movie.
Wow.
It really needs to be seen to be believed.
Right.
But you also definitely need to see the Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks version of it, because you cannot watch that movie by itself.
It's
you
not very,
cannot.
not very
it would
probable.
be impossible.
Yeah.
Because Joe complained apparently to you that the movie felt like it was 4 hours long.
Yeah.
But it did not. Joe's a liar. Because we had the buffer of Riff Tracks.
Right.
Watching that movie by itself would totally feel like it's 4 hours long. Especially the long, silent parts that happen for no reason.
Is it like a sort of a creepy anticipation building thing?
Nope.
Okay. Just poorly put together.
Yep.
Did that guy ever go on to make other movies?
Nope.
No. Wow. Just fertilizer from there on out.
Apparently this movie showed once. Received terrible reviews. The cast and crew all basically left the movie before, the movie was even finished.
Wow.
I guess the movie ended with people throwing their shoes at the screen. And then, just sort of languished in obscurity until, Mystery Science Theater, picked it up in the early 90s.
Oh, man.
To be one of the best episodes of Mystery Science Theater that, exists.
See? Well, in the long run, Fertilizer Guy was right.
Yeah.
It's loved.
I think he was dead by that point.
But, that sucks.
Yeah. But, so Joe and I went to go see, Riff Tracks, do the Manos: Hands of Fate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, do they do that often?
I was, looking up online, I guess prior to this, the last time that they did one was a year ago. But they do have another one scheduled in October.
Okay.
Which, I'm already making plans to go see.
Well, that's cool.
For a movie called Birdemic.
Birdemic.
Yeah. It's a sort of a sci-fi remake of The Birds.
Wow.
Yeah, but with no budget.
How could that be bad?
Also directed by a guy who didn't know how to spell his own movie's name.
Oh. Well,
I guess there's a tale of him. He rented a van and he drove it around to promote his movie. And so he had the website address for the movie written on the side of the van.
Right.
www.biddemic.com.
Oh. Yeah. Well, maybe he tried to get birdemic.com and it was already taken from conspiracy theorists or something.
Yeah.
So he just, no, that's awful.
But, that wasn't even, the best part of the movie. Hanging out with Joe. I got there super early. Joe had some errands that he needed to do before he, got to the theater. So I was sitting around and I was like, I really gotta go to the bathroom. So I went into the restroom and, went into, a stall, like one will do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in there, and, my first clue that something was wrong was that I heard someone come in and say, "Oh, okay," and then leave.
Yeah.
So I finished doing what I'm doing, and I opened the door to the stall and to walk out. And stall faces directly to the urinal, and there's just some guy's ass right in my face.
His pants around his ankles.
Yep, at the urinal.
Huh.
Shirt lifted up.
He's just extra careful.
No.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
So that,
just a big fat dude naked at the urinal.
So that's what the guy was talking about when he walks in.
Yep.
He's like, "Nope, I'm out." Sounds like, wow. That sounds even worse, even scarier than a birdemic. Oh.
Yeah, so that was my week.
Me and Kathleen went to a costume party at the Dayton Art Institute.
I am no longer supporting that place.
Yeah. I think the best part of it was they showed the 60s Batman movie.
Huh? You could have watched that here for free.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was like on a big screen, like projector.
Fairly big screen.
Yeah. But it was kind of cool because I had a few glasses of wine.
Oh, we could have bought wine.
And I was wearing a costume.
I could have let you wear a costume.
Like a mask. And I was wandering around,
you can wander around here.
The museum after.
Just go to my room.
Oh, that's the thing. I was in darkened parts of the museum that, it felt like you weren't supposed to be in. I was like walking down the halls that were not lit up.
Right.
And, sort of drunkenly with a mask on after they were closed, and I felt so like nefarious, like I was like I should just be stealing sculptures, It was kind of fun.
Well, with the way they've been treating you and others like you, maybe you should have.
I don't want to say anything negative about them.
Well, you still got a couple weeks.
There's just well, no, not just that. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a bittersweet thing going on in the Art Institute right now. Part of me likes it, and part of me thinks that it was not put together too well.
Nope.
But yeah, I don't want to go into that.
They're not listening.
Well, no.
I'm guaranteeing you that anyone who actually works there doesn't even know what a podcast is.
No, not just that. I just I think it's more like,
let alone the internet.
I think it's more like miscommunication than it is like,
It was a lot more than miscommunication.
Yeah.
But, let's not get
But we did get something cool at Mavericks this week. Some guy brought in a stack of books that he found in his attic, and it was like some 60s comics.
I'm sure they were all in great condition.
Some of them were actually, like, he had there was only a couple, but he had an issue of Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, that was in like very fine condition, which is weird.
Was the one where she turned black?
No, but it was in outer space, and Superman was like unplugging her oxygen on the cover because he was,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I hate Lois Lane. I think she's the worst character in comics.
Superman was agreeing with you on that cover.
Yeah.
He was like, let's get rid of this bitch. No, but the cool thing was, like, amidst all this, like, 60s Marvel and DC, excuse me, he had a Golden Age comic. He had a Human Torch #3. Like a pre-Fantastic Four Human Torch comic.
Yeah.
And, it was only in, like, good condition, like, whatever point that is, a .4 or whatever. But, it's worth like $350 in that condition. But I had never in my life seen that. I've only ever seen pictures of that. So it was really cool, to see that. It's in our case right now for, I think, $350 or something like that. So if you're curious, stop in.
Is there anything special about that issue other than just being really old?
I don't think so. I don't think
first appearance of some obscure Golden Age character.
Probably, yeah.
The Angel makes his first appearance.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it has characters in there that never did anything else, but...
Wizard.
Yeah. Or like the Golden Towel or something. But it was just cool to see. Cause we hardly ever see like stuff from the 40s and 50s come through, so...
That's cool.
It was pretty neat. Pretty neat. It's in our case with our giant size X-Men #1 and all of our high quality ones, So stop on in and check it out.
Buy it.
Buy it. Yeah, we could use the 350 backers. But other than that, kind of an uneventful week here.
Yeah. I had my first entry into the official handbook of the Marvel Universe Redux blog put up this week.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Did a full killer drawing. We got about 5 or 6 more characters that'll go up eventually. Just to put it out there, it is not officially associated with Marvel at all.
Just like a fan.
It's just a fan blog. But
what's the site again?
It's like the actual.
Or what can we Google?
Google official handbook of the Marvel Universe Redux.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's like OHOTMU redux.blogspot.com.
So it's kind of clunky.
Yeah. But it's run by a guy by the name of Calamity John, who also runs the Cornered blog, in which people redraw the little corners in the top of comics.
I think where you see like the heroes posing above the price and all,
like their heads or whatever.
Right.
And it's basically in the same vein as Covered and Repaneled. Basically, they're just redrawing every entry in the official Marvel handbook.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and there's a lot of awesome artists who've contributed to it. Like Evan Shaner and Chris Somney, I believe, is doing some. Tim Seeley, Anthony Vukovic, Rusty Shackles. Just a lot of cool indie cartoonists and some big mainstream cartoonists, too.
Like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I fall somewhere in that.
Yeah.
Exactly. I snuck in.
No, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I haven't looked at it lately, but when I did look at it, there's some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, you can go see some really cool shit and then see mine.
Awesome. Oh, it's good to have the whole, the whole spectrum, yeah. I think I mentioned this to you yesterday, but I'll tell the listener. The mystery of the lost underwater welder was solved. I just happened to mention in passing to Kathleen that, it's like, I can't find it. I didn't happen to leave a copy of Underwater Welder at your apartment, did I? And she's like, oh yeah, I thought you loaned that to me to read. And it is blowing my mind because at the point I realized I couldn't find it anywhere in the house, I swear that I hadn't been to Kathleen since that book came out, or she hadn't been over to my house either,
Right.
So I have no idea how I got that to her house. Yeah.
Well, what I asked you yesterday, and I don't know if you found out any more today, because you did hang out with her today, was you kept saying that it was you had Underwater Welder and you had a couple of other books that you bought,
right?
And that you couldn't find any of them. So were the other books there too?
Oh yeah. See, I haven't asked her yet. I didn't think about that today. But yeah, because I was so befuddled by that I didn't even think to ask her. But yeah, there's a couple of just regular size comics that I bought the same week that I can't find. So yeah, maybe they're there too. That's so weird.
That's
How does
bizarre.
that happen? Is there a little dimensional portal? Or
I don't know. Maybe
time travel?
Maybe you did go over there and you just only stayed 10 minutes or whatever.
I can't even. I've went through
Grabbed a
every
quick bite. Yeah.
Is that a sex move?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I went
It's
through.
when you go to Chicken and Biscuits or whatever the hell that place is. Biscuit World.
Biscuit World. Tudor's Biscuit World. No, I went over every day in my mind, the day the comic came out to the day that I realized it was no longer in my possession, and I swear that I was not at her place any moment of any of those days. It's so weird. But at least it's found, so.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I got nothing else going on at all, ever. So, I guess I'll pick a comic book.
Speaking of comics, right?
And we'll get the hell on out of here.
Sweet.
So, I'm picking a book that, based on title alone, I'm pretty sure you're going to approve. I believe that based on title alone, it is relative to your interests.
Oh, cool.
I don't know about the content. That's what we're going to find out if you don't veto this. Picking a book called Black Metal.
Black Metal.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I know you are.
Like Live in Color, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Cult of Personality.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, good stuff. Awesome. Well, I'm down.
Alright.
What is this? Who's it by?
It's written by the same guy that wrote Teenagers from Mars.
Oh, okay.
Drawn by a completely different guy. I don't think those two guys work together anymore. At least I haven't seen them do anything together anymore. But it's like a mega-sized, comic that I'll just go ahead and say it. I purchased for 15 cents.
Really?
Yeah.
Where does one get a 15-cent comic other than 1964?
On Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a book that I've been wanting to read for a very long time, but I've just never been able to find a copy. And so I went on Amazon to see if maybe I could find like a cheap used copy. 15 cents.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it like in terrible condition?
Nope.
Wow. That's awesome.
It had a sticker on the back, but luckily it was one of those stickers that are easily removed.
Sweet.
Which, more places need to do that shit.
Yeah. Man.
Second time around.
Yeah, you guys. Like on their CDs and DVDs and stuff, yeah.
Even Second and Charles. Come on, get it together. They exist. GameSwap, they have those stickers that you can just peel off like they're nothing.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck? If they're available, do it.
Yeah, maybe they're so much more expensive.
I don't care.
Probably not. They're probably not if GameSwap's using them.
Great. Nobody wants stickers on their shit. Come on, get it through your fucking heads.
I used to always put stickers in my Trapper Keeper.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
I'm talking about price stickers on books and CDs and DVDs. Get rid of that shit. Black metal.
Black metal. Nice.
Black fucking metal.
Let's do it.
Alright.
I'm ready to start reading it right now.
Oh, I know you are. Well, you're in luck, because I have it for you available.
Sweet. Do I have to give you 15 cents?
Oh, yes.
Wait a minute, you didn't pay 13 cents and now you're just turning a quick profit, are you?
Damn it. You're on to me. Alright then.
Well, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure, but we ended up watching Survival of the Dead, so Lord knows that's not true.
Yeah. Alright. Bye.
Goodbye.
You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook. Or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.